Hi guys, and thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this week's video, which is a reflection upon the 5 things I've learned through almost 20 years working in the investment space with some of the most successful business owners, entrepreneurs, senior executives, but also spending the last 5 years working more closely with them on topics broader than just wealth, about life, about the attainment of this idea of success. Well, what are the 5 daily practices in common with these modern day business leaders? Before I give you the 5, as always, please, I would love it if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel. The bigger the audience, the greater the messaging that gets out there and the more content I can give to you on a regular basis. So, the 5 daily practices of a modern day leader. First, let me explain what I mean by a modern day leader. If I go back to when I started working, so when I started my career back in early 2000s, the mindset of a leader, I believe, was very different from what it is today, as we're seeing that generational shift in leadership start to happen. It was about being first in, last to leave, about who could push the hardest. It was about drinking consistently every day to win new deals. That's how client deals, opportunities were won. It was about churn and burn. It was about pushing hard. And for many, it was about perhaps the things that we valued in life, could be family, fitness, fun. Well, they all came secondary to the business. Now, over that 20 years, I've connected with some amazing human beings doing some amazing things, both personally and professionally. Over the last 5 years, through the coaching journey, I've worked with these individuals on a deeper level than just money, or deeper level than just wealth. Getting to understand their daily practices and their beliefs and their values. And I started to notice, well, there's some common themes here. Things that I now adopt, things that I now believe in. And I want to give you the 5 daily practices of this modern day leader. The leader who perhaps has shifted in the way they approach their working day, their life, their value set, the way they structure their day and their week. It's changed and evolved. It's changed and evolved into including, I believe, across the most consistent base of successful business owners and entrepreneurs, to include these 5 things. So number 1, look, this is probably not going to floor you, but it's fitness. 30 to 60 minutes of movement. Movement being the key word in some way, shape or form. See, diversity in our training, in our fitness, in our exercise, in our movement is key, and especially when you're running a business, because not every day looks the same. So being able to run or walk or play tennis or lift weights or do high intensity interval training, you have to do what you enjoy. But the key is, what I see is, they have to be nimble and able to mix in different styles of movement, because when we're traveling, well, we might not be able to do our CrossFit class or our HIIT class or our lifting. You know, and some days when life is busy, we just have to go for a walk, and that's okay too. In fact, it's probably encouraged that we walk more often than many of us do. So it's fitness, it's movement every single day, 30 to 60 minutes. But just don't get fixated on what it has to look like or when it needs to be. The best time of the day to train is the time that you can get it done. So that's number 1, without question of a doubt. They are moving every single day. The second one, and look, at something I have adopted, and that is meditation. It's becoming less woo-woo, wah-wah, because people are now seeing the benefits of it immediately and long-term. And again, don't have that perception of it must look a certain way. Meditation could be 5, 10, 20 minutes in duration. It could be guided meditation. It could be transcendental meditation. It could be breath work. But why I see these people adopting this as a daily practice is, not only does it raise their level of ability to manage stress, their resilience, helps them calm in a stressful situation. It lengthens the rope, as I call it, which means how you react to something. But it enables creativity to flow, ideas to come. So that daily practice of meditation, again, when does that happen? When it's able to be done. My only disclaimer is I really discourage people from doing a longer meditation just before bed, because I personally can find that, well, it does interrupt my quality of sleep. Number 3, and this is huge for me, for those that know me, well, you only have to look behind me to see, well, how important my family is to me. Some of the individuals I've worked with over my time, well, that value set was a little bit lower down the run. That family value was a little bit lower down the list, and that's okay. But again, consistently what I see is that family is so important to the modern day leader. But it's, well, more specific than that. When we are with our family, it's about being present. Now let's talk about that pursuit of perfection, like we said with fitness and meditation. Pursuing this unrealistic expectation of being there for multiple hours every single day for our family, well, sometimes that's just not attainable. Business can be busy, life can be busy, there might be travel demands. But the modern day leader, well, what they're saying is when we are with our family, when we are with our children, we are solely focused and present with them, with no distractions of phones or laptops, but especially our phones. Put them away. So being comfortable and being okay with maybe the time with your children or your family isn't as long as what you would like every single day, but when you are with them, be completely focused and present and away from distractions. The 4th one is taking time out of the day. Sitting at your desk and feeling like you're productive for 10 hours non-stop, well, it's just not the case. We need to stop and take breaks. We need to let our eyes just relax at a minimum. But taking time away, to get away from the screen, to get away from the project. It could be a 10-minute walk around the block. Getting outside is amazing. It could be taking a colleague or a friend or a business center of influence out for a coffee or a sandwich or a lunch or whatever. But it's taking time out of the day. A few minutes here and there should just stop, reset, reflect, and come back to what you're working on with a fresh set of eyes and perhaps even some more clarity of thought. So taking a break in the day, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, several times throughout the day. You'll be more productive, better outcomes by investing that time on getting away. And the 5th one is constant learning. Daily constant learning. But again, what's the perception of that? It's sitting down and reading a book from cover to cover. Well, I'll put my hand up and say, I don't enjoy reading. I never have done, and I'm likely to ever love it. So what does that mean? Well, learning can look like several different things. Yes, it can mean reading a physical book or one of those Kindle things, but it could also be an audio book or a podcast or, like this, a YouTube video. It's getting content, getting information that is relevant to self-development, business growth, new ideas, new ways of thinking, but learning. Another one which is key, and especially in my world, well, that's also a learning through spending time with a coach or a mentor. That's another variation of learning. So these are the 5 things that I see across the board with some of the most successful modern day business leaders. They're the 5 things they're all doing. I'll give you a little bonus one as well, and that is daily gratitude. How that looks, well, for most I would encourage you and them to write it down, to actually journal, to document what you're grateful for, physically, mentally, professionally, financially. Daily gratitude, being grateful for what we have, where we're at, but also attaching a why to it. Why? Why are you grateful for that? We need to be able to articulate that. But I see so many of these business leaders journaling, documenting their day, their feelings, their emotions, their thoughts, but also what they're grateful for. Abundance will come through gratitude, and I encourage you to try that. So guys, these are the 5 things I have learned, that I have witnessed through some of the most successful business owners, these modern day business leaders. They are moving every single day, 30 to 60 minutes in some way, shape or form. They are meditating every single day for 5, 10, 15 minutes, possibly different types of meditation. They are spending time with family. And again, it might not be the length of time that they really want, but when they are 100% present and away from distractions like the phone. They're taking time and breaks out during the day just to stretch the legs, let the eyes relax, let the brain clear up, become more creative, and just spending time with colleagues and friends and teammates. And learning, constant learning. Again, through various styles: audio, video, reading, face-to-face connection. So I encourage you, adopt all of these practices, or at least start with one. Guys, thanks so much. Keep well, keep safe.